Hey folks, welcome to the webinar with Xobin. So for those of you who have watched our annual recap and who have noticed our product roadmap for 2023, you would be aware of the list of things that we're going to launch this year. So overall, we have broken down all our updates into 6 parts. So we are right now in February, and this is the first major product upgrade to Xobin. Okay. So in this session, in this quick session, we're going to talk about effective talent shortlisting with video assessment. Okay, so the agenda of this session is that we are going to understand what is talent shortlisting. Then we're going to see a quick demo, a live product demo of Xobin's video assessment capability, and then we're going to understand the costing behind all this, right? And we're going to quickly see how you can start using this in your organization right now. So let's get started with understanding what is meant by talent shortlisting. What do I specifically mean by effective talent shortlisting? Not just talent shortlisting. What is effective talent shortlisting? I'll be honest, I asked this question to ChatGPT, right? Because I was completely out of words to frame how this is super simple. I just wanted to see how ChatGPT would frame this. And this is what it actually said when I asked ChatGPT what is meant by effective talent shortlisting. I was surprised it gave me a huge list of blog which we can actually post as to it talked about conducting interviews, it talked about assessments, it talked about resume screening, etc., right? But I just wanted to just stop the AI for some time and basic human intelligence. Which we HR have, tell that effective shortlisting is finding high quality candidates from a large pool of job applicants in the shortest time possible. Okay, so here's the thing: you have to ensure that you have a high pool of candidates, and then a large pool of candidates, and ensure that you're able to find high quality candidates, not necessarily to give a job offer, but to ensure that they move to the next set of the recruitment process, which could be a one-on-one interview, or it could be a phone screening, or or sometimes even directly the job offer. Okay, so finding high quality candidates from a large pool of job applicants in the shortest time possible. Well, this is recruitment 101. This has been people have been doing this for centuries. Since the time people started doing jobs and all, right? Recruitment has been a very, very old thing, right? People used to put ads in newspaper, and candidates would directly walk into the office, right? And interviews happen and people get jobs. Now, but what are the modern traditional approach to shortlisting talent effectively? So I think somehow everything is boring, relatively. Some of this we do in Xobin, but it's still boring. One, that's by reading resume. We are in 2023, and the fact is people still take resumes seriously. If you have graduated from college, you know that the resumes are just cut, copy, paste. Okay, it's just cut, copy, paste. We have a standard 1 or 2 page resume, which has been just copied, and all of us use it, starting from the objective, right? Etc. Right? People just copy and duplicate, and they use it. And the fact is, resumes do only one thing. It talks about your past work experience. It is generated by the candidates, so it is completely not authentic. Second, aptitude test. It is a great way to shortlist candidates. I completely agree. But the problem is that candidates are trained to solve aptitude problems right from day one of engineering. Okay, if you watched previous webinars that I've done in Xobin, you would know that colleges, once a student enters into an engineering college in India, whether it is an IIT or whether it is a low-level college that is close by to us, they are trained to solve aptitude problems from day one. Okay, more than the engineering problems, they are trained to solve the aptitude problems, which was a subject in 10th standard CBSE. It is exactly the same. So when someone is trained to do something very well, that necessarily need not check their genuine aptitude at all. right? Someone with a lower IQ can genuinely score a high test and aptitude test. That is a major problem. Now, many people use a lot of advanced tools which parse data from resumes again, and they call it as AI. That is completely wrong. You may use an applicant tracking system that parses data and suggests you great candidates to hire immediately, right? But that is again coming from a data that is generated by the candidate himself, right? So this concept is again flawed. So we are cheating ourselves by using modern softwares which are reliant on data that is generated by the candidate, right? Which completely may not be authentic. Okay. So majority of the resumes are actually just cut, copy, paste with few variables changed here and there. Now, for surprising, but few weeks before, I got to know of a major company who conducted walk-in interviews. Okay, over 500 candidates. It was on a Saturday. Over 500 candidates came for a walk-in interview without any prior shortlisting. Which means that anybody who has a piece of paper, they can take a printout and then they can come to the office for interviews. And 20 senior people from this company, senior people in VP level category, were there in the office, conducting interviews. And they had a very, very poor conversion rate. Okay. So now the sad part is that it's not that, they didn't actually get shortlist anyone for the next rounds of interview. The sad part is that 20 senior people in the organization lost their Saturday. They could have traveled, they could have slept at home, right? But they came to office, talked with 500 candidates. It couldn't have been more physically intense than this, right? And they failed at recruiting good people. Okay. So walk-in interviews, I'm not saying it's completely wrong, but a walk-in interview exercise without a prior shortlisting, right, is going to lead in failure guaranteed. So conducting recruitment fairs and events are still a successful practice in some parts, especially in North America, etc. Right? But those are different, where few people come in. But in a country like India, where walk-in interviews are traditionally, just people they get to hear from WhatsApp groups that hey, there's a walk-in interview coming, and 100 people walking into the office are mostly going to end up in failures. Lastly, phone screening. Surprisingly, it works. Phone screening does work. You get to know which candidate is serious and which candidate is actually good, right? It still works. The only problem is that it is time consuming. Okay, you have to individually call a candidate, and people who done phone screening will know that 40 to 50% of your call will go unanswered or rescheduled. Okay, and you need a proper human mechanism to be able to shortlist candidates. Okay, and it is not, what to say, it's not just cool, it's defining the first experience the candidate has about your company is very important. They need to have a very good impression about you. So the candidate experience need not be that great with phone screening. Okay, let's leave that, but it's extremely time consuming. So what is it that I'm advising to do, right? I'm not asking you to get rid of a phone screening or aptitude test. These tools work well together, right? And hundreds of Xobin's customers use that on a time-to-time basis. But as a platform, we innovate new things, right? And we want our customers to upgrade ourselves as we upgrade our product. And one thing is video assessments. So why video assessments? Okay. See, in Xobin, what we mean by video assessments is it's a quick 30 to 60-second video the candidate has to record about himself. Okay. So it could be one question or it could be 5 questions. That doesn't matter. But the candidate has to structure his thoughts in a quick video, which he can record with a webcam and upload. So how is it going to really add value, right? Answering something, gathering your thoughts and structuring it within 60 seconds, right, takes a lot of effort. It's not easy. Okay, it's not as easy, as writing a big essay about yourself. Having the courage to look into the camera and talk and explain yourself takes a lot of effort, right? And you cannot really cut, copy, paste. Okay, you cannot copy your friend's answer, or you cannot just Google an answer, copy, and then just paste it. You have to talk. It's going to be personalized, right? And that is going to give a lot of information. If a candidate is reading from the screen, you would know. If a candidate is genuinely trying to express himself, you would know. See, now you may talk me here and say, Guru, I'm not really looking to see whether the candidate knows good communication for my job. I just want him to be good at the job. You see, it's not about communication, right? How a person expresses himself, right? He could talk in a broken English or in a broken language. His thoughts need not be sequenced, right? But you get to know how authentic the person is, right? And how much of a skill set he actually has when someone is talking, right? Which you really cannot see elsewhere. Now, and they can't be trained on this, not even in an engineering college. Okay, so like I said, you can understand them better. And once and for all, goodbye to plagiarism. Like I said, this answer is not available elsewhere. And even if they, find an answer as to what to tell in the video, and they have to tell it, and you can really say whether the answer is genuine or not, right? Now, it saves hours and hours of interview. Seriously, because when the candidate can give a structured answer in a quick 1-minute call, you would know that you really don't have to call them and schedule a 15 to 20-minute interview, right? And then you just know about them, right? So in that call itself, right? And you can directly schedule a more lengthy call, which could potentially lead to a job offer. So this saves huge amount of time in interviews, as stated by a lot of Xobin customers who are using video assessments in beta. Okay, so now enough of talking, right? I've talked a lot, I guess. It's almost 10-15 minutes since we entered into this call. So I'm going to go and directly get into Xobin's video assessments and show you what it is and how you can actually create one right now. Okay, so let's just go to that demo. By the way, this is the ChatGPT question I asked as to what is effective talent shortlisting. You can try yourself. You should get mostly the same answer. All right. Let me grab a glass of water. So when you log into your Xobin dashboard, video assessments are part of Zoforms, right? The new form building tool that we launched in Xobin for hosting your video job applications. That's where the video assessments also hosted. So you'll have to create a simple Zoform to add the video form capacity. Right here, you name. Let me just try to minimize this so that I can comfortably use. So I'm going to go and okay, I'm not going to go fill up what this form is about, but here this is mostly for understanding what this form is going to convey. Here, I'm going to build this to just show the capacity of the video assessment. So here you can go ahead and ask what questions the candidate wants to answer in the video assessment format. Right? My favorite is something like this, and you choose this option, video, you put add, right? So here I've just asked the candidate to introduce themselves in a quick 60-second video, right? And I can add up to 5 questions, right? But my suggestion is keep the amount of questions you can add very less so that you get much more conversion, right? So this is a simple form. I'm just going to ask one question, right? I could have made this required, but I'm going to keep it optional, right? And I'm going to launch this form. So, yep, like we can see here, the form is created. I can now invite a candidate to fill up this form via email, or I can upload a CSV sheet with all the candidates who should receive a link to the form, or I can just copy this link and I can ask a candidate to fill this form. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and drop it over here. Good. So this is the form. Basically, here's where we explain about this form, and here is the form that we just built. Tell me about yourself in 60 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and put a name, demo candidate, and like this. And I'm going to try and record this answer. So when I record, I get this model like this. Tell me about yourself in 60 seconds. This question requires you to record your face and talk, right? So initializing camera. So here I am. So once the go symbol comes, the 60-second timer is going to start, right? And the candidate can see as to how much time he has, and he has to frame his answer, and then he can stop recording, right? So the best part is the candidate can retake. So they can keep answering this again and again till they know that this answer is perfect, and you as a recruiter can see this particular answer, till they feel comfortable with their answer. They can go ahead and they can, once they finalize, they can go ahead and press save, and then they can click that the data provided to them is accurate, and then they can go ahead and submit. So that's it, right? So it was so easy. People ask me, Guru, will a candidate be comfortable in recording their video and showing their face? Hundreds and thousands of them are doing Instagram reels, right, and YouTube shorts by recording their face. And the new Gen Z talent really do not feel shy to show themselves in the camera. No, it's not the previous generation. The new generation folks are completely different, and that's why this works. And let's now see the response here, how it appears. You can see that this is my response, demo candidate. Before I show the video of me, I want to make a small another update here. This is the new thing that we have launched in Xobin. We've launched the candidate module right inside the Xoform response page, so you can see the journey of the candidate. If demo candidate has filled up some other assessments, you can see them right here. And we launched a beautiful way in which you can send a message to this candidate right over here. Okay, so but today we're going to stick to video responses. You have to click this view button to go ahead and listen to my video, right? I'm not sure whether the audio is going to come because it was recorded in my earphones, but I'm able to hear at least. So this is my answer, and you can then categorize this candidate just like all the other Xoform responses. You can invite this candidate now to an assessment, right? Based on the answer he said, I can then select the button. I can choose the assessment and then send it to him, or I can ask him a customized query, etc. All right. So this is the video responses thing, right? And here's the thing with Xobin, you can actually ask any amount of, you can give this video assessments to any amount of candidates. Okay, there is no limit on how much, just that you have to add only up to 5 video questions per form, which is too much. You don't need 5 actually. Three tops, right? 3 questions are enough to understand about candidates in every single thing. My suggestion is mix it up with few tests, few subjective questions and few objective questions, and then have throw in a little bit of video questions so that the candidate really enjoys filling up the form, right? Until date, touch wood, Xoform completion rate is 100%, meaning you invite 100 candidates, 100 people will complete, right? That's so effective. That is the completion rate that you can actually skip a complete aptitude test and try inviting candidates directly to this form, right, and make them fill, and you'll be able to filter much higher quality candidates who can take up the Xobin assessment. Okay, so let's get back to the deck. Let's quickly talk about a couple of things before we end this session. Okay. So basically, here's the thing, right? What is the pricing? Periodically, video assessments have been crossed price per assessment basis again. So usually it runs up to $4 or $5 per recording session. But with Xobin, for those of you who know Xobin, we really don't do that. So video assessment actually is, let me just quickly Google Xobin's pricing. Right, there we go. Some of our, here it is. So here in the essential plan, both in monthly and annual, you get unlimited video assessments, right? We are the only people in the world to do this, right? You can actually even invite 10,000 candidates a month and ask them to record a video assessment for $249 a month, right? So that is the pricing, and there is no strings attached. You can actually sign up for a free trial right now and use the product and get access to all these things. Yeah. So the next thing is, if you are not using assessments, or if you're not using these tools in your organization, how you could start using it. My suggestion is, you don't have to buy the platform immediately. You can sign up for a quick free trial with Xobin. We can give you the platform for a few days, and you can actually use the platform, right? Internally, at least, without any cost implication, and then see how the platform is going to add value. Maybe you can try for one particular job role, shortlisting candidates with Zo forms and video assessments, and see how it works, right? Eventually, you're going to see value, just like how 750 customers of Xobin are, recruiting talent with Xobin, and I'm sure you would love our product.